It's the Duffin Up Podcast. What is going on, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Duffin Up Podcast. My name is Brendan Monroe, and coming off an amazing U.S. Open weekend, although honestly it may not have been that amazing, but we're not going to talk about that yet because we got to introduce the greatest podcasters in the world, besides myself. We have on the one, the only, the artist formerly known as Michael Adams, now known as Mikey C. Mikey C, how are we?
Brendan, Brian, Timbo, you're out there. It's good to be here. It's good to be back, following through, back-to-back weeks, showing up, getting in here. Boy, do I love golf. Just got the itch right now and wish there were more majors to be had, but there's only one left, which is sad. But boy, we had a fun tourney, and Wyndham Clark tipped the cat. You went out there and you won it, and kudos, kid.
Boy, he sure did, and that's the thing we got to go through, right? Like, it's not that anyone lost it this time around. It's that Wyndham Clark went out and just put his, put his manhood right on the line and went out and won it right there. Of course, do we have on the man that can absolutely bomb it a mile down the fairway, most of the time in the fairway, sometimes in the rough. Sometimes he pulls a me and puts it into a tree or into a person's house, but most of the time we're right down the fairway. We got Brian O'Reilly on the pod tonight too. We got Bry Guy, the big bomber here. Bry, how we doing?
Just so great. Morale's high. I would like to, I know you kind of allude to it, but most of the time in the rough.
I said most of the time in the fairway.
I know. I just say I'm correct.
I was giving you credit.
Yeah, anyone can log on to the USGA gin and see that I'm putting in the rough, that I'm not exactly a low hand.
Yeah, Brendan, stop hyping us up, kid. I mean, we want to come out of nowhere. We don't want to be those guys expecting to show up, because we're not those kinds of back-to-back weeks. You got Bry Guy he's coming in on the first tee, just shaking in his boots.
Shaking, absolutely shaking. I'd be lucky to hit it in the rough. It's tree line, right or left. But no,
Bry Guy's out here pooping his pants on the first tee because I'm trying to tell him how great he is. This is what happens.
Yeah, the bar is set way too high. Appreciate it, but I'm here. I'm here, and we're living.
We got boys out here who golf. I feel like we've been trying to get out on the golf course all lately, not together, unfortunately, but it's that time of season. It's the longest day of the year. We're filming on June 21. It's longest amount of daylight, and go take advantage of it. I just so fortunate down the road, have a little golf course that I can just hop out onto. Just played 2 tree holes, and boy, that's all you need in one day is a couple holes just to tickle the fancy and bring you back and just get you jacked up.
Boy, nothing wrong with a couple 2 tree holes down at the Agawam. Down yonder at the course that shall not be named.
Down yonder. No, God bless them. They wrap up when it's almost dusk time. Nobody out there. I scared off a wolf or a coyote or something that was
definitely a coyote. You wouldn't scare a wolf. Definitely a coyote.
Not a wolf, coyote. It was bigger than one of those.
Might have been a tiger. Honestly, might have been.
Saw a tiger at the Capron Park Zoo today, so didn't look too similar.
Did you bring your head cover, and were you just like, wait a minute,
dude? I don't know where that head cover is anymore. I think I might.
Wow.
What?
Brian has one, right?
I do. Yeah.
That's not mine, Brian, right?
No, Frankie's always here.
I love it. I think
you should have named him Eldrick. That would have been funny.
Yeah, no, he's Eldrick.
Yeah. He's Eldrick now.
He's no longer Frankie. He's now Eldrick.
Yeah.
Oh
right.
man, boys, Brandon. I know. Unfortunately, our man Tiger was not in the field this week, but we do have to talk about, a pretty great, normally I would consider it a great tournament. But for some reason, I don't know how you guys feel about it. And I think we're going to get into it a little bit. It just felt a little off at LACC as I wear the hat. Shout out to Aiden McCarthy and John McCarthy, who were on site at LACC this weekend, bought me a hat, brought it home, gave it to me. And now I'm about to, crap all over the tournament. So
I was wondering where that came from, because I got my last year's US Open hat repping.
What a better hat. I wish I had mine out right now. What a better hat.
I wish we had our man Timbo here, because I would love to go to the course first, because I feel like it was jacked up. Like, people were proclaiming it to be, on par with St. Andrews, and like just the angle of attack, and how you had to be positioned out there. And I mean, they went and shot 62 under. Rickie and Xander day one didn't hold up, 2, 3, and 4, those two. But I mean, the golf course did hold up. Like, it held up, but it was wide. The fairways were very wide. So, it really wasn't typical US Open where you had to be pinpoint accurate. Like you saw Wyndham on a late hole, on a shorter hole, you just aiming it way left over some trees and not really caring if it, kind of like you saw Bryson at Winged Foot, but it wasn't to that. I thought LACC was a cool course. I just maybe expected it to be a notch further, go a notch further. I don't know about you guys.
Right, guy, you want to take it?
No, I absolutely agree. I mean, I was pretty tied up for the majority of the weekend, and so I really only was able to tune in, like sit down and actually watch on Sunday. But like, obviously Twitter and the golf Twitter or any social media was knocking it a big time, saying like the least amount of tickets sold or whatever. Yeah. And like, I saw a good comparison. It felt like a COVID major tournament, where they were not as packed. Like, you didn't even know people were there for the most part.
No. Which like, sucked. And yeah, you didn't really realize it on TV, like too much. Like, it didn't ever get too loud.
But something I always I kept hearing them like the course, I know a lot of great courses when they're holding a tournament or whatever. The coverage is really focusing in and mentioning like certain holes or like really cool function features. I felt like it kept one of the main talking points that kept getting brought up was the 14th or 15th tee box, and reading the Playboy Mansion, and like being like, okay, you can hear the monkeys, and it's like it's coming from Hugh Hefner's like Playboy Mansion, and it just like kept doing that. And I'm like, yeah, that's a cool tidbit, but that's like, if that's what you're really bragging about,
how many times did they say that? So how many times did they say marine layer? I mean,
marine layer too. Yeah,
that goddamn marine layer. That goddamn marine layer. We needed like freaking Cheech and Chong out there to burn that thing to the ground. Oh my god. I never want to hear about a marine layer ever again. Like, I'm done with marine layers.
Brandon, you might know the facts on the US Open, like a total attendance at last year's Country Club at Brookline, like numbers wise.
Oh yeah. Get ready.
And the the percentage of people that were gifted tickets to LACC members, like who was. Oh yeah, it's kind of like Masters.
Can't wait to tell you.
Oh yeah.
Jump, Brendan. I'm just a fish. I'm just a fish out of water. Throw the line.
Yeah, and to your next commercial break.
Are we playing through yet? Are we playing through?
Yeah. All right, come on through.
Which I will. So before we get into that, I will give the USGA a lot of credit for what they did with the final hour, having it commercial free. Great job on their part. They finally learned. We finally learned something. To make the last hour of golf commercial free and just get a big sponsor to pay you $1 million so you don't have to go out and get commercials. It's not that hard, people. It's not that hard. But anyways, we do have stats last year versus this year, because as everyone knows here, me, Brian, and Timmy, not all together, but we were at the Open. We were at the US Open for a couple days. They sold, for the US Open in Brookline, they sold 40,000 tickets a day.
Yeah, that's twice as much, right?
For the US Open and LACC, they sold 23,000 tickets a day. I believe half of the tickets sold at Brookline were grounds passes. So that's 20,000 tickets.
Right.
In total for each day, 9,000 tickets at LACC were grounds passes. And a rumor that is not 100% confirmed, but is kind of confirmed. Between 3,000 and 5,000 grounds passes a day have been pre-bought by LACC members to keep the attendance down.
Yeah.
So for everyone saying last year that the last couple years that they thought Brookline was going to be the snootiest place in the world, let me bring you LACC. LACC is everything that's wrong with golf. That is everything that is wrong with what we want in golf. They are snooty. They are rich assholes. They only want a certain amount of people at their course. If you've read their rules, you have to play in pants.
We'll play in pants, LACC. If you want us to come, we'll play in pants still.
No, you know what, Mikey?
Brendan might say no,
yeah.
but Brendan's out. Brendan,
I'm making a stand.
I'm in scuba gear. Don't get me wrong.
Duffin Up's not going. Duffin Up can't go. Restriction.
Duffin Up can go. I mean, we literally announced if the Live Tour gave us like $50,000, we would have changed the name from the Duffin Up podcast to the Live Tour podcast so quick. So
if they gave us $5,
yeah, we are 100% for sale, baby. We are
You're on. I know what you're saying though. You're on the right train, and I'm on board. It is a lot of what's wrong with how things are done.
Absolutely. I mean, like, how do you do, like, everyone was saying going into it that it was going to be a little bit more, that LA feel, that like corporate feeling, that ritzy feeling. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, we just came off of like Brooklyn, like, which everyone thought was going to have that feeling. And it was the polar opposite. I mean, there were people standing on rocks because they couldn't walk. Like, I was standing at the sixth hole, and we were standing on top of boulders.
In order to watch. 18th hole, I was on the rock wall. I was on.
Yeah.
And you guys are the ones. You guys are the ones that are the quietest when they're hitting and the loudest when something goes down. And the guys in the fucking corporate boxes, like, they're moving when the first putter makes it in a group, and they're all like moving or just having a conversation. And it's like, dude, your corporate box is on top of the green, and this guy's trying to make a putt to make $200,000. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's brutal.
No, seriously, but it's that's the thing is, like, the people that are with the grounds tickets are the ones that actually want to be there because we're the ones walking the course. We're the ones actually.
You're the ones going out and buying the tickets instead of the ones that are buying the tickets and then selling it probably for more fucking money, or just like giving it to grandkids and mom and whoever.
And I will say at the end when Dan Hicks was like, all of LA is circled around this green, and they did the shootout, and it looked like it literally looked like, it looked awful. Like, there were more people at the RBC Heritage final round than there were. Like,
that was an unreal comment, Brendan.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so bad.
So I did find it cool.
The Canadian Open 18th green looked better than the US Open last week. What are we doing?
I thought it was cool because, like, just the 18 at LACC being so, like, open.
Oh, it's a beautiful hole. Hole.
Just like with everyone swarming, it was kind of cool to see. It looked different than, like, I mean, I know you, Brendan, you were part of it on Brookline. Like, you were only you were only limited to, like, the fairway, like running up the fairway, as opposed to, like, LACC was all around because of they weren't restricted by a lot.
And remember, at Brookline, they wouldn't let us go all the way up to the green because they were planning for a playoff because both Zalatoris and Fitzy had stuck it. Yeah. So they were kind of planning, like, oh shit, like, Fitzy's up by 1, but like Zalatoris only has 10 feet. Meanwhile, everyone forgot for a second, Will Zalatoris can't putt. So,
no, exactly. It's true. It's like they were preparing to have to clear people off that.
And they already did. Like, I was legitimately like walking up the fairway, and like Matt Fitzpatrick and Will Zalatoris were like surrounded by people. And it was like, I mean, Billy Foster was just being like, just don't fucking touch him. Like, that's what he just kept saying. He was like, just don't touch him. Like, just don't touch him. Just leave him alone. And like, no one was doing it. But like, I would say that like when Dan Hicks said that, like, and A Zinger's there too. And it's just like anything that A Zinger says, it's just like, oh, Zinger. It's just like, all right, Dan, like, calm down. Like, can we get Tarico on this call, please? Like, can we do something else? But I just felt, even last year at Brookline, like Joel Damon goes out the first day and shoots 5 under. And a lot of people did say like, like what's going to happen? You know what I mean? And then everyone came back. The same thing kind of happened this week, but at the same time, it didn't. You know what I mean? Because it never felt like, they didn't come back. Like people caught up more. Like Scotty Scheffler caught up. Rory caught up. Xander fell back a little bit. Wyndham Clark caught up. Like it wasn't really a falling back like we usually see in a U.S. Open where everyone kind of falls back to that point.
Wasn't a ton of carnage, but did see some whiffs, which was awesome to see like 3 whiffs. Like I watched a lot of golf this weekend, but when you see Rory and Wyndham and
I was gonna say who's with him and like what was the situation?
They take like
the Xander bunkers. That was brutal.
Oh, the Xander bunks.
So it was like bunkers, rough
around the green because they try like you're 6 feet or 2 feet off the green, and all you need to do is like land the ball on like the green, like right where the green starts, like to have the ball roll out because it did get firm Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, because of the goddamn marine layer went away.
Marine layer raised, but it was the greens were pure. I mean, the golf course was a good fucking golf course. Don't get me wrong. It was wide fairways and not enough people on it.
And I think that's where people are getting it. Not wrong, but I think that's where it's coming off of as like, I don't think people are saying, I think some people are saying like LACC is not a good course. It's like, that's just false. It's a top 10 country club in America. And it will be probably forever. Like it's an amazing, like that course is amazing.
Loved seeing the 87 or 9-yard par 3.
Oh, that was great. And then then you had the 290-yard par 5 or par 3, and then the 260 par 3, and I'm like, all right, calm down.
But do you think good enough to host another U.S. Open or major?
It's not a U.S. Open event. It's not a U.S. Open style course. A U.S. Open style course needs to be it needs to be not beautiful. Like it needs to be what Winged Foot and Shinnecock Hills are. They're beautiful courses. Yes, I will give you that. But they are so narrow. They are so difficult. The grass grows like crazy. Those greens are small. They can roll them into freaking, I was going to say into Bolivian. Shout out Barstool with that, but they can roll those and get a crazy stimp off of them. Like you need that. Like I don't, I get that like LACC used to be a plotter's course, but like what happens when you have Wyndham Clark, who's not even considered a huge driver of the ball, hitting it out there 310 every time? Like it takes away the whole thing. That's why you need the narrowing. Like you need that. I don't care if you have, it's long, but it's big fairways. Like that's what the British Open's for. That's what and they also get gale force winds. You're not going to get that at LACC. Like that's what they didn't get the mother nature behind it. So the course wasn't difficult.
Though the Open, they often have marine layer.
Well, they just have constant marine layer.
They live in a state of marine layer.
And then they also have gale force winds that go 50 miles an hour. Like the LACC is never going to have that.
They need to say marine layer every week now because it's just.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go out to a local muni and just say it, and they're gonna be like, "We're nowhere near the like." Imagine a kid in Iowa saying it right now.
If you're near the water and it's gray, marine layer.
Oh, imagine like a kid in like Iowa or Oklahoma just being like, "Yeah, the marine layer's crazy."
And if you're fortunate enough to be playing a golf course near the ocean or near the water, you're fortunate enough. So
You are very fortunate, and you're gonna have to deal with that marine layer. That's all that. But
Comes back to LACC 2039. So when we
is that declared? That's
yeah, no, that was declared
Yeah.
before the Open. Yeah.
uh and what I noticed that in the broadcast they mentioned how far in they brought in the actual fairways. Like it would show the the fairway normally is, but they let it grow out to make it much narrower. I don't know if you caught that or
didn't.
I
catch
mean, they
that,
didn't make it narrow enough.
They need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even did because it was one of the last groups was hitting in the rough, and it showed like the fairway obviously and the rough, but then like there was a patch of the fairway that was much or patch of the rough that was much greener that took the shape of the actual fair, like how it normally is, but they grew it in a good amount. You'll probably be able to find a picture of that. It just shows that it was clearly was a fairway, but it was rough length. So
Yeah.
it's interesting in that. So that's wild that they so when it is declared, like would you say 2039? Is that when that
I mean, they can the USGA can do
Think
whatever
about
it wants,
You-
but like the USGA was kind of honking their own horn at the end too. They were saying how amazing like LACC was. I'm like, you guys
they probably got some good money.
they probably got good money, but then like honestly, it's just bad. Like it's bad publicity right now though.
Yeah. Well,
Like they are so lucky that it's at
2039, I won't
Pinehurst next
remember
year.
what it looks like.
I'm good for it to come back as long as they let more people in. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
True.
Like that is my thing right now, and I think I have a pretty hot take about it. I don't think any new course that goes into the US Open Rota or whatever they're going to call. I know they call the Open, they call it the Rota. The US Open rotation, no new course should be a private country, like a private country club. It should be like Bethpage. I mean, Shinnecock isn't that, but it should be like a course that like it should be a public course.
That
So
even like amateurs that are qualifying in the US Open should be able to play beforehand.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, I
I mean,
absolutely
we're
agree.
probably going to run out of golf courses, and we want to make room for new ones too, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, you
Totally.
keep Brookline in, you keep like Shinnecock, Oakmont, all of these like historic courses in. But like, if you're gonna throw in like LACC and it blows up in your face like it kind of did,
No, it wasn't. It needed more people. It
needed more everything though, Mike. Like Wyndham Clark on 18.
Wyndham Clark won that tournament. He didn't falter. It was 11 under was the winning score. That's over 4 days for these guys. That's
I agree, Mike. I agree. But what I'm saying is his 18th hole tee shot at any other US Open course, that thing is in the woods. That thing is out of bounds. That thing is somewhere nasty. And at LACC, it's in the fairway.
Yeah.
And like you could even hear them saying
he definitely caught some breaks. He pulled some shots left because he played that swingy left to right swoop and cut or hook. Not hook, flare, fair, whatever.
Are you okay? You okay?
Fade, fucking.
You did something.
Yeah. Slice.
No, but I mean, you can't call a winner of a US Open a slicer off the tee.
I mean, that was a big old power fade on 18. That's for sure.
Overall thoughts on him being a major winner, winning the US Open. You guys
he won it. Wyndham? I mean,
no, but do you like it? Are you happy he won? Or are you disappointed? Do you wish someone else?
I'm more disappointed that it's just like it's again like Rory just didn't pull through. Like I think that's why I'm like he's once again finishing in second place in a goddamn major.
But I have to know, I did feel Rory actually put up a fight there at the end compared to like the Open last year, where like he was leaving every putt short. Like and obviously Cam Smith walked away with it, but like he at least Rory this time around was actually putting it and it was going beyond the hole. Like he wasn't leaving he wasn't playing as conservative as he seemed. So it was awesome to see Rory like actually look like I know he was trying, but both times, but it felt like he actually like wanted it more than anything.
I'm totally accepting and happy the way everything turned out. Rory, like you said, Brian, he didn't falter. He, battled. He
just ran out of holes.
he ran out of holes. He didn't make anything, but he just did what he had to do, and kind of hoped Wyndham made a hiccup, and Wyndham didn't, and he just did what he had to do, made his putts, and when a golf, I freaking love those majors. I really just get and I was rooting for Rory so hard. I wanted Rory to win so effing bad. Saturday night, I'm excited for the next day. It's like I have a tea time. I'm ready to go. Rory has a chance to win a major, and just kind of jump back on into the swing of things and right his ship here. But
there's nothing like it. You see that when Rory's walking confident, and it's fun to watch that. It's different.
And he he said he's just going to keep showing up to these things, and he had a positive. It's not like he was like, oh, I could have done this, but he knew he was beat and just didn't make any putts. And I don't know, I just get when Wyndham comes off and just looks at I just get a tear in my eye. I literally do tears. I just love sports and competition and watching that stuff so much. And I know they made it a lot about Wyndham's family and mom and her passing 10 years ago. And that obviously is something I can't even imagine, or can't put myself in his shoes at all. So it just I don't think he was just, again, you can't really judge anyone by the moment, that interview. He was overcome in the moment. He didn't articulate himself too well, and I never do either. So why am I being critical? But he was just taken aback, and I was just oh, very happy for him. Very happy.
I mean, it's just wild. I mean, his only other win was a couple weeks ago at the what was it, the not the Waste Management, but Wells Fargo. He just won recently, and so having it your number 1 and 2 win on tour, and one of those being a major, is, I can't even wrap my head around even just fathoming that. And it was cool. I think it was Azinger or someone in the booth mentioned that the only other, Rory, the only person to win the Wells Fargo and then the U.S. Open in recent years was Rory. He was the only one to do that. Right. It's just crazy, just to see won the Wells Fargo and then went on to win the U.S. Open within a couple of weeks of each other. Rory did that back in the day, and Wyndham just did it. So it's I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I'm sure you and I will never get to that point in our golf career. Even if it's just win. Our major now is the Nathan Parker Classic, and that's a example. So imagine winning that and then winning something else, another scramble tournament that we do. We would be ecstatic, and that's not even close to what he just went through. So, and just with all his emotional thing with his family and stuff, and winning it. Yeah, I can't even articulate how I would articulate that.
Right. I had Juneteenth off, so I had Monday off following the tournament. I went to Heather early with my dad. Good to be back at Heather. Played the North Course, shot my typical 43. I feel like I'm such a more experienced, better golfer right now. But you just go out and you shoot the score. You always shoot there. It's just, that's golf. Came home, worked my tail off in the yard, and I'm just doing a lot of movement of dirt and grass, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm what the fuck's Wyndham Clark doing today? And he when Brian, you're it's must be so cool to obviously win a major and have all that money and all that just built up happiness in a follow-up day on Monday, which he probably was busy as hell and couldn't enjoy it, but hopefully he's enjoying it now. And
I'd be pulling into Heather the next day, Heather Hill.
right. I'd be doing the same.
Buy the course and make it a premier spot. But yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. And Brennan, I don't know how much more you want to break into it, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of Olympic Club 2.0 and Webb Simpson 1. I'm just going to be forgettable.
That's a decent compare.
Honestly, the most
club though.
What?
You don't like Olympic Club that much?
I actually thought Olympic Club was a great course, but it's the guy who won it. Like that was the problem with that one. Like Webb Simpson's just very forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Wyndham Clark is, I think this is going to be more about the course, but let's be honest. If it was just, and as much as I love them, if it was Wyndham and Xander in that last group instead of Wyndham and Rickie, and and Rory and Rickie weren't really in contention, how much are we talking about this US Open?
Yeah.
Like, not much.
Not the sexy guy didn't win, but Brendan, I think,
I don't mind Wyndham Clark too. Like, I think he's a great player. I'm so happy he's turned it around.
He'll never ever forget. And
No.
you might, but he won't.
Will he win another major?
Will he?
Might.
He's 29, right?
I mean, he's gonna be on the Ryder Cup team this year. He has 2 wins he's gonna make the Ryder Cup team.
I hope Wyndham makes it unforgettable for you, Brendan,
Wait, Brian, did you just say you don't think so?
This is the first of like 6 in a row, Brendan.
Yeah. Brian, did you just say you don't think he gets on the Ryder Cup team?
No. I said that'd be awesome.
He's almost guaranteed a spot.
That's awesome.
Like he's the third. He's 13th in the OWGR. I think his Ryder Cup points are probably massive now that he won the US Open. On that side, like I think it's great, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just not it was just a forgettable US Open for me. I didn't
it recapped last Sunday. It's classic. You already deem it forgettable.
I know.
Well, my thing is always like, even just like, probably because I was at the US Open last year and this year too, is when someone like Matt Fitzpatrick wins for the first time, or Wyndham Clark wins for the first time, I'm always like, I really hope he wins a lot more, because like I like want to be able to be like, oh, I saw his first of many majors, versus like, who won it that year? I forget. Like, just like kind of a name that's like never really.
Yeah, it's like a Y.E. Yang,
right.
Guys like that.
Yeah, I want like players building their resume. They're like just winning like multiple majors. Like I want Brooks, guys who have already won a few, and I'm like, I want them to keep going, because I think it has to do with like the Tiger effect too, in a way, where being like, it's sweet to watch someone so dominant, like collecting all those majors, those tournament wins. And I mean, it's tough because the league is so saturated, and there's so many good golfers now that it's anybody's game, and no one will be as dominant as Tiger was in a small year span. But I want that to be the case. So I want Wyndham to go off and just be as dominant, and if not more dominant than Tiger, because I just want to see a resume career, and that's just me wanting to be like, oh, I was alive during this span, and like I watched this, as opposed to, oh yeah, like I saw 20 different guys win the US Open throughout me watching golf.
We may have to cut that part. You saying that you want him to be more. You want him to win.
I do. I want to see a new Tiger. I want to be re-entertained. Like, I just want to like see that dominance.
I just don't think it's Wyndham Clark though. I think
it doesn't
maybe
have to be
in the
him.
Upcoming generation there might be a guy like that, but I just don't see it as him.
Well, I want him or literally anybody to do it. But Mikey, what do you got to say? Sorry.
No. I love that, and it just kind of made me think like a guy that we were rooting for that had a chance to really like put a good stamp on his career and like really solidify being a good effing golfer is Rickie Fowler, had the opportunity to not obviously put himself in the names of, Tiger, Rory, or Brooks, or, any golfer of that stature, but
he'd get one. He wouldn't be this version's Colin Montgomery, like he would have gotten his, and that's great.
I think it would have been awesome, and it just came
so close.
Sad to see.
You can't win 18 without winning from one.
I will say though, I know you guys remember it too. I think it was back in either 2014 or 2015 where Rickie finished top 5 in every single major, and people were just like, all right, like he's going to do it. This year, I don't know if he's going to do it this year, but Rickie's back. Like he's playing some amazing golf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I really hope he pulls through. If it came down to him versus Rory, that would be a brutal rooting
Rory,
for.
but it would have been tough. I just feel like, and I was watching some Saturday, live from the U.S. Open, and Brandel Chambly like saying how Rickie's got to get luck from, Wyndham and luck from Rory, like both, putting a bad stroke on it, costing him a few shots or whatever. Like, I'm like, Brandel, I appreciate a lot of the stuff that you say. I like listening to you. I know a lot of people don't, but like, he's knowledgeable. He's a historian. He knows golf, so I can definitely listen to him. But I'm like, Rickie can go out and win. Like, it's not like Rickie's game. He went and shot a 62 on the first day. Like, I know Sunday golf is different than Thursday, but like, shut up.
Yeah. Brandel's just been having a bad couple weeks. Let's just let him be.
Yeah,
He's been having a rough couple weeks so far.
You just when you watch a lot of that stuff, you just realize even like just two guys sitting across from each other, like him and Paul McGinley.
McGinley, I love him.
He's
love
good
him
too. Yeah, and they're good. Like, they say different things just to say different things because they can easily disagree and like keep moving the show forward. Like, it's nice to. They're one's from Europe, one's from the U.S., so they disagree on a lot of shit, anyways. Just like anyone, any human, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it was enjoyable to watch. Again, I can't put this up there with like last year with Brookline. Like, I can't put it up there with some of the, memorable, like DJ winning. I can't put it up there. I just can't. But that's me. Anyways, moving on.
Good tourney. Wyndham tip the cap. And Brendan. I think Brendan and Wyndham are gonna be friends one day.
Maybe. You never know. Maybe.
And I only will if he gets to Tiger level dominance.
Oh, I know, right? Imagine that. But what we gotta do, boys, we haven't done this in a bit because we've been on some hiatus. We've taken a couple breaks. But we got some bogeys for the boys and girls right now. We've got a pretty big, maybe not an enormous segment, but we've been playing in a couple tournaments. Bry Guy and I were lucky to head out to San Jose, California to play in the Odin and Separ Shindig. And boy, was that an event. I mean, the weekend, just the overall weekend, absolutely fantastic, Brian. I know you agree, but what would you say?
No, I mean, I think it was the bar was set so high based off of Odin when Jordan and put it on with the two Separ golf guys, Derek and Dom, to our roommates, as we shared an Airbnb with them. So our roomies over at Separ.
And of course, can't forget about laid back Luke. Can't forget about
yeah, we were roommates.
He was legitimately your roommate, Brian.
We were bunkmates. Yeah, I was top bunk, he was bottom bunk. But no, the bar was set high just knowing those guys who put it on, and then it exceeded expectations and more because it really was just it was just an awesome time, well orchestrated. I mean, anything in Brendan's
look at this merch.
Yeah,
look at this merch. Oh, yep. It's unbelievable.
It was just, I don't know. I just like, I've still been like riding high, reflecting on it, like the people that I met, and just the times that were had, the people were so nice and all that. I mean, yeah, the only issue was that it was a longer round than expected based off of just the courses, like the course put it on and scheduled with another tournament. So it did turn into a 6+ hour round. But I had nowhere to be. I was on vacation, so
6.5 hours. That was brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty tough in that, but like that, if that's the only thing that was a big issue, then that's an awesome tournament. I mean, that's beyond their control, and it was just awesome. I think just everybody that I met, the Sucker Pin Society, Beard and his wife Juju were some of the nicest people that I've ever met, and I look forward to connecting with them again as well. And just we saw Nelson from Tacos at the Turn, awesome dude as well. And it was just great. I mean, overall, and you could see this cool flag that we were given, that shout out caddy flags. But I loved it. I mean, That was a good time there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Luke from Backblast Golf, we roomed with him. That was a great time. Met a bunch of guys who I we've had discussions with on Twitter, on Instagram and everything like that. You know, we had Ralph from Los Golferos, Nelson from Talk About the Turn, who we've had on the pod, Beard, who we will have on the pod,
Yeah,
and Luke as well. Oh,
and Patty Ice, and shout out Patty Ice. She,
what a human, Patty Callahan. Oh,
awesome.
she was great.
She's awesome.
She was great. And then, I mean, we also met a bunch of other guys too. I know I'm probably missing some, but we met the Golf Fatos guys, hopped on, like, everyone was they were just, at one point there was a backlog of I think it was about 5 groups, Brad Guy, wouldn't you say? On one tee box.
Yep. I was on
5 groups on one tee box.
5 groups on one tee box.
Brendan and I had time to go drive back
literally,
to the clubhouse and get some beers at the bar because there was no cart girl. That was a huge oversight.
Yeah,
as well.
No cart girl. Brutal.
Brendan and I saw 5 groups ahead of us. We're going to the pub and we're grabbing beers and bringing them back out.
Dude,
how many Modelo's did you buy? Brendan
we bought like 6 Modelo's,
and they were tall boys. So
massive Modelo's.
He was handing them out to people because we're like, Brendan, we have 3 holes left. And
I know. So I handed him some of the Golf Fatos guys, and then we just roll with it, dude. It was fun. I was like, it's Modelo time. I did that.
Yeah.
They laughed their ass off when I did that. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dick Gabagool. He was a cool guy who I met.
Dick Gabagool within our group. Shout out Big Choke, who we met at the after party. He was a great guy too. Mm-hmm. Really cool stuff that they're doing as well. Around the peninsula there. So it's really cool just to like meet. And I know a lot of the guys were California based, but it was so cool to just be able to meet a lot of these guys. Hopefully we can do it again. They're talking about doing the shindig somewhere else next year, which would be cool to see another part of the country. But at the same time, I did really like going to I liked where we were in the Bay Area. It was very pretty. And of course, a huge shout out to my boy Alec and Nate. They played with us. Alec almost pulled a Tony Finau and destroyed his ankle.
How's his ankle? Yeah, Mike. They had a lot of ground squirrels and there were holes all over the course. And I think I told you Alec was. It was literally the last putt on our 18th hole, and he was just going in, and hit that hole, and he literally Tony Finau ankle popped out, and he popped it back in, and he was just like,
no way.
Yeah.
Down like a sack.
He was gonna come out with
us.
He was gonna come to the after party, and then he was just like,
too much pain.
Gonna go home. I was like, that's so valid. I'd be on a stretcher right now.
Yeah. He went when I say he went down like a sack of potatoes. He went down.
He's a big guy. He's tall. Yeah.
He's 6'5", and he like literally sack of potatoes, like just boom.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Oh man, I felt so bad, but he's okay. We've checked in. He's good. He's okay. He's feeling better.
Check in on that guy.
but yeah, no, definitely want to thank Derek, Dom, and Jordan as well. I was lucky enough to play with Derek, Dom, and Beard at Half Moon Bay the day before too, and Bry Guy came and joined us for lunch.
Oh yeah,
that was a treat. That was an absolute joy. Like that was an absolute joy. I was so happy we did that because played the ocean course there. Honestly, if the trip would have ended after that, I would have been sad, but at the same time, I would have been like, this is complete. Yes. Like my life is complete.
You're like, that's all you need.
That's all I needed. And it was absolutely wonderful.
That'll be just Half Moon Bay. Probably your top 5 courses that you've played ever.
Oh yeah. Right up there with the LACC, right guys?
Did you book that tee time like day in advance or what?
Oh no, we booked it like 2 months in advance. Oh yeah.
It's a lot more available than
it is.
Even like TPC Harding Park, where like I was trying to play too. They had an event the day I was trying to play. It's like if you get out there, a lot of them don't let you book until like a month in advance, but yeah, you can get out.
Torrey Pines is the same way. Like you can only book Torrey Pines like 5 days in advance, unless you play the North course. If you're playing the South course, it's like, or it's a major upcharge. Like if you book it over 14 days in advance, it's like $100 upcharge. Our upcharge was only $10, which was cool. So that was nice. But yeah, put it on my American Airlines miles card.
Yeah.
So basically paid for, going to pay for a flight. So who knows? But it was great. It was great. Had such a good time there. And then I actually ended up playing in 2 tournaments as well over the past couple weeks. One with our friends, the Cape Cod golf guys, Jared and Adam. Shout out Mikey C for unfortunately missing that one, even though his former high school basketball coach is one of the Cape Cod golf guys.
Haven't connected with Adam and those guys, but yeah, I know they're doing well.
Yeah, so ended up playing in their tournament up on Cape Cod, the Cotter Classic. I played with my friend August. Great event. We finished one over. The winner, it was a 2-person scramble. I will say, I know people don't think it's much more difficult. Like a 2-person scramble is so much harder than a 4-person scramble.
I'd rather do a 2-man best ball than a 2-man scramble.
Oh, I disagree with that completely. But I can't hit off the tee.
I don't know.
So.
I feel like it's too much strategy in 2-man scramble to only get one chance, like 2 chances out of it. I don't know. Because I'm much better scrambling than my own ball than I feel like just 2-man. I mean, one of my only experiences was Mike's tournament that he put together, and Brennan and I didn't do so hot, so I'm out on 2-man.
Sure didn't.
Yeah,
we won the 3-man scramble though. Me, you, and Jimbo. We won the 3-man scramble.
That's true. Well, it's because anytime you put Jimbo and I together, forget it. It's like it's
not fair. It's not fair.
It's a big dub. Miss Jimbo, but you played the Chimawa for the Cape Cod Golf Guys tourney.
Yeah, and then I played the second one yesterday. On Monday at Chimawa.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
The other one was at Pocasset, so I got to meet our boy the greenskeeper as well. That was wonderful.
Man.
You want to talk about an absolute character, that man.
He is someone I think like someone I need to meet in person, because he is like this like mythical god to me, because I'm like, I had a Zoom call with him and I'm like, I'm all in on this guy. And then like, I feel like I'm going to be starstruck just when I see him.
He is exactly who you think he would be.
He's that's how I hope him to be.
Yes.
It's just the greenskeeper. Like he
is a mythical creature. Like that's all you can say.
That's definitely one of my favorite.
He's a mythical creature that makes the Gophers go away.
Yeah, stop and shop cake guy. Yeah.
I know you guys make fun of me because I don't watch the podcast back when I was on my parental leave. But
Mike, we literally put in code words.
But I did watch that one, and I want to meet that guy, and I wish I want to meet the greenskeeper.
Dude, right?
That was a good he was fun to listen to. He just if you said, what do you do for work? I think I would have guessed greenskeeper.
Yeah. No, and it's so funny because I remember like we had him on, and him obviously being a Massachusetts guy, and we're all from the New England area, and I feel like we slip into our accents a lot more when you're surrounded by people with that accent.
Oh yeah.
And who are we? I forget who we were talking to like a couple podcasts later. They were like, I listened to that and I had no idea what you guys were even saying. He's like, I couldn't understand like your thick accents, and or just like a lot of our like local, like, oh, you've been there, you've been in this course.
Oh yeah, I think that was Brian. I think that was Brian Skavnak from Minnesota.
I think he's like, I didn't even know. Like,
he was like, what were you guys even talking about?
Yeah,
and it was like we were just talking about straight Massachusetts stuff.
Yeah. We forgot we were on a podcast for a second. We thought we were at like the local Packy or something.
Nah, we thought we were at the Nines, dude. We were having a horseshoe ale. We were eating some gold fever wings.
We're gonna losing people again already.
He was hammering subtitles.
Yeah. Indistinct chatter was basically the only subtitle that popped up.
I'm dying over here.
Oh man. But I mean, it was great to meet him up in and I got to meet a lot of other really, really good guys at their Cotter tournament in Pocasset, and then playing this week. Played at the event, Mikey. You remember Kids Day from back in the day?
Yeah.
So I played in like a fundraising event for Kids Day.
Brandon, do you I thought you had a full-time job.
I do, but we got June 19th off.
I mean, how many tourneys you got going on over there?
I mean, we got the Nathan Parker coming up. So we're
Can't wait.
coming. I know we got to have the boys on, so that'll be great, but we are coming for that blue jacket this year.
Yeah, actually we should get that set up with those guys for sure.
We will absolutely get that set up. Like Brian's caboose is already doing so much work just to absolutely bomb the ball right down.
He's batting cleanup, or maybe Bry Guy chooses. I think he's
Bry Guy chooses when Bry Guy wants to go off the tee.
Definitely not.
Could change every hole.
Yeah.
Wish we had
it would change, because normally if we're playing just our own ball, and I hate going first because then you have to wait for everybody else to tee off. Like if you're playing your own ball. So but on some holes in a scramble, I'm gonna be like, I wanna try to grip it.
You want to rip it.
Yeah.
You want to absolutely rip it.
Yeah, do not limit me.
And it's me at the end being like, all right, guess I'm taking the 3-wood out.
Well, just one of something I'll remember forever is our first hole to Nathan Parker, where Mike put it over. He played over the hole behind us, it through the woods, and we were punching through a chip.
Timmy made a huge birdie putt. Was that Timmy?
Yeah.
Timmy, right?
I believe so. I think,
or was
yeah.
it? I think
it was definitely your drive. I think it was my chip. Like,
yeah, we had
through, and then I think Tim hit it. Yeah, to start.
I thought Tim hit the eagle putt, or did Tim hit the birdie putt?
No,
Brian, you hit the eagle putt
on the next one, I think.
Yes, on the next hole. Yeah,
on the next one I did.
But yeah, that was.
I don't know. I just love, like, that's what in my head is a scramble is like, okay, we got one out there, the other one, who God knows where they are. But like, because we have a safe ball out there, Mike was going over a par 3 green into trees, like hoping it gets there, cutting a 90-degree corner, and it paid off. Like
somehow, no one knows how, awesome. But somehow
we had everybody bent against him too.
Yeah,
and we had a great ball in the fairway. I think Timbo cranked it out there.
Yeah, he just hit a nice iron around the corner. Yeah,
I think. But I was gonna say, sometimes if you go last and you get 3 bad shots before you, that's also the worst spot.
That's when you take an iron out. That's when you take your iron out.
You're wobbling.
You're what?
100%. But no, looking forward to that. I mean, Mike, you said you played this weekend, we all played. So we all played on June 19th. Mikey was at Heather.
Heather.
And it was that Mikey? Was that for qualifying?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I wasn't sure if because I saw it. Did you play with Patello, or because I just saw it pop up on 18Bs?
But it's like, you didn't have anyone caddy for you, did you?
I know. I know Brian wants to caddy for you, but that's my job.
I did take over from you back
for one.
Back
yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I played with Chris.
Made me sad.
Chris Senior at 6:20 a.m. Heather.
Woo. How was that?
It was great. I mean,
did you go low?
No. 43.
43.
Can't putt.
That was Big C swinging him.
Big C's, he gets around. He's not the longest hitter by any means. Hits it right is his miss, goes about 75, 100 yards, and
you could tell that he's in between seasons right now, between the C's, because when who was it? Chris said that you guys Father's Day ended up watching the U.S. Open, and I was like, there's no way Big C's enjoying this, but I was like, but he also doesn't have. He likes golf a lot more now.
He said he doesn't. I mean, I've always tried to get him into it, but he said he did enjoy Saturday watching. He watched a good amount of the U.S. Open, and then he watched some Sunday with me. But he's not into it as much as I am. But I did want to say I got out to Agawam today. Me and my neighbor TJ. You guys know TJ.
Yeah,
TJ, great guy.
Unbelievable guy. Gotta send him this link. Me and him were like just chit-chatting until 2:30 a.m. last night. Like, he comes over around midnight because I like yelled across the driveway to him because I saw him, I don't know, coming in from almost picking up his buddy at like 1 a.m, but his wife giving him a buzz and saying, that's probably not the smartest thing to do. Turn your ass around. So he was on the road, but just for a short stint because his wife's like, don't be an idiot, and came home, poured himself a nice bevy, alcoholic bevy, little Goslin's rum and little Jamaican or something, ginger soda or great. I don't know. It was dynamite. but regardless, like we get talking, and he's Dana Quigley's son-in-law. So Brett Quigley, Dana Quigley, like Rhode Island, just golf through and through. PGA Champions Tour, like they have some son Devin Quigley, who was a phenomenal golfer. He got injured in a car accident, but he was a phenomenal golfer, and he lives right down the street with TJ's mother-in-law. So we see him a lot. But he's just TJ's a great guy, great family. He has so many freaking golf clubs because he's the fucking Quigley son-in-law. He gets hand-me-down golf, everything, every fucking thing. Like, just ends up in his garage, balls, gloves, clubs. So this guy's coming over like, hey, Mike, try this club, try that club. Look at this shaft, look at that shaft. Like, how's this grip? Like, just guy is, probably take yourself off mute. You can laugh, brother. We're having a good time. But so he comes over with PXGs, like a whole set last night, Brendan, which this is going to tick you off because you're a PXG,
I'm not a PXG hater. I'm a PXG truther. There's a difference.
Whoa.
Well, so he gave me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and wedge. And I went over to Agawam tonight. I took the 5, 9, and wedge. And I tell you what, man.
Boy, you liked them.
I loved them. I think I'm selling my hoagies. I'm thinking about it.
You should go to the PXG, get fitted, and then sell, and then just tell them like, here, take these Ben Hogans. They're just take them away.
TJ is such a riot. He gets my mind going. He's like, I have like this painter's cardboard like that you put down on the ground when you're painting, so the paint doesn't hit like the wood, whatever. It's like a huge ass roll, and he's like, dude, that's like $100. Like, put that on Facebook Marketplace and sell that shit. I'm like, that's been sitting in my garage for a year and a half. Who the hell's gonna buy that? But
yeah, if you put it on Facebook Marketplace, I can tell you for sure someone will buy it.
Yeah, probably. But the hoagies, I got the Hogans, and I tell you, I have not hit a 5-iron. My 5-iron with the Hogans as crisply as I hit that PXG tonight. I promise you that. Not to say.
So what you're saying is good old Uncle TJ is gonna get you a couple more PXGs over there, and you're gonna have a brand new set again.
I think I might. He told me last night. I know he had a couple beverages and whatnot, but he said I could have him till the day I die. I was like, all right, you
Deal.
said it.
Deal.
Make a quick buck on the irons. I haven't been hitting them great, but I just like telling a little story about good old TJ.
Oh, he's the best.
So with that, just selling clubs, like obviously there's a lot of trade-in websites, or you can just go to Golfers Warehouse and you can sell them to them, and you see when you go there's all.
Yeah, if you want to get ripped off, you go to Golfers Warehouse.
Well,
they're like,
so listen to this. So I my birthday present in Midori was she's been wanting a 3-wood, so I was like, all right, we're gonna go to Golfers Warehouse. And like you're just gonna start hitting clubs, 3-woods, and like that's your present, whatever it is. It could have been a Stealth, it could have been this year's model, or it could have been anything. And so what she ended up hitting well was an M2, tailor-made M2 from like 2013, 2012.
Yeah,
like
right.
Old,
That's
but it was
old.
it was part of the trade-ins, and so I have a buddy that actually works there, and shout out Tyler at Golfers Warehouse. He brought the club over, and it said 119. Like the price was $119 for this club as a trade-in, and he goes, I can do better than that. And then so he brings it over to the desk, and he writes on a sticky note $19.99, and he puts the sticky note on the club, and he goes, just tell her you're good. Like, just tell her that's the price, and you're good. So it went from $119 club to a $19.99. So like, I was like, Midori, even if you don't even like it, then
you're getting it.
Yeah, we're getting it. And if you hit this well, then that's awesome. If not, I'll buy you whatever you need. Like, but like $19.99. So I mean, it depends where you trade those in, Mikey. But you probably, because you got fitted for it. I'm sure you have like really nice shafts and
Yeah,
bogey head. I mean, I'm the same way. So like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend going on the website because they just like estimate it there. But
Yeah,
like,
they'll screw you.
yeah, they'll screw you. But that's the thing. I have still my old burner irons collecting dust in the basement, and I'm like, I could easily just sell these.
We
But I
did.
just
We donated my old Cleveland irons because it's like, I mean, how many lefty, like literally not many, it's not, it would be nice for them to go to, they were kind of a almost like a mid starter set anyways. So
that's the thing. It's like, yeah, do you want to go the extra effort to get like $20 for a set, or do you just get rid of it? Like,
I will legitimately I may have had to pay PGA Tour Superstore to
I was
take
gonna
those
say,
Clevelands.
yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like one of those things because, like, obviously you want to donate clubs too because it's like you want people to use it that can't afford clubs. Um, but Mike, you just got fitted for those. I feel like you probably have some real good shafts on them.
Yeah, the shafts may be more than the freaking clubs.
Did you get fitted at Club Champion, Mike?
Yeah. They give you.
You could go trade. You could trade in there. Like they have probably a really good trade in system.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that too, Bri. But I also, thinking of, TJ gives me clubs. I'm the opposite of a hoarder. Don't know what the word is, but I love throwing shit out. And I have clubs that I do not mind parting ways with.
And you should join a Facebook group like Curb Alert or Everything Free Rumford or whatever, and you should post a picture, be like, "Yo, come grab this." People will come and take it. Like they'll like Facebook, it's basically Facebook Marketplace, but
or just do Facebook Marketplace and make a little extra cash.
Free. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't care what you do. The listeners don't care what you do with it, but
there's a nice little Attleboro organization Dennis Walsh oversees. Brendan, you might throw some clubs over there, trying to be a good guy. Get a couple coupons.
Oops,
tax returns, babe. Get some tax returns. That's all that matters.
True. Karma coupons.
Oh man, that's good. But no, Mikey, if you get, I'm not, if honestly, if we have someone who joins the PXG cult on the podcast, it brings it full circle. So I'm kind of in on you having PXGs.
Dude, I'm going to keep hitting them. But it's been beautiful.
It's so funny. Mike used to have the same ping irons for how many years, and now
at least 10. At least 10. And he was giving them
already over.
He was given to him by Brandon, who used those like 5 years prior to giving them to Mike.
So Mike had like perfected his game on those, and then now he's got a new.
They were basically the old ping I2s from like 98.
Might as well just go back to pings. Go back to your clubs.
Hey, I wouldn't put it I wouldn't be,
Go over to TJ and ask him for some pings instead.
But these PXGs, the 5-iron that I hit, I'm in on them. I'm gonna keep working them. See how we do. I like my driver. I like my hybrid. I like my wedges. Irons up for interpretation.
Excellent. Well, Mikey, you know what those are going to come in handy for? Hazy Fridays when we start that back up, baby.
Back up. Need to start that back up.
Oh, I cannot wait for some Hazy Fridays. That's for sure.
But I was saying, just Agawam. I know we were saying yonder before. Been peppering at night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Getting over there around 8:00.
And one of the nice parts is too, boys, is this weekend, Rhode Island golf kind of takes New England golf in general takes center stage with the Travelers going on, but one of the most prestigious amateur golf tournaments in America, the Northeast Amateur, back at Wannamoisett this weekend, baby.
Saw the signs out.
Mikey, if and Bry Guy, if you don't got anything going on Saturday, it's the final round, free admission.
Really? You could just show up?
Just show up. That's what it says.
I would definitely go. I'm not around. I'm in New York, but I would have definitely gone. I was actually bummed to drive because not every time, but a lot of times when I come home, I take the scenic route around Wannamoisett because there's nothing better looking at.
It's so pretty.
It's beautiful. And I saw young kids like teeing off and like Just drove around the corner and kept driving, then saw like signs for the Northeast Dam, and I'm like, oh, I'm away this weekend.
It's back, baby.
It's probably good that you're getting out of there. It might be a little hectic.
Yeah, I'm on the other side though, so it doesn't get as impacted. But yeah, I'm sure.
If need be, I'm leaving my car at your house.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say we could have grabbed a coffee and walked there, but you guys definitely can leave your cars in my house.
Well, I will let you know on that side, Mikey, because my little Ford Escape maybe in that drive. Is Bryn going with? I mean, is the fam going with you to New York?
I might, yeah, fam's going. Might ask you actually. Might ask if you do it for a favor. Might have to ask you for a favor. You got to water my lawn.
Oh, I'll water your lawn.
I've been growing that
BJ!
grass. I've been working my tail off. So
Love that.
It's growing, baby. We fucking love it. It's growing.
Hell yeah.
That's
I wouldn't ask you to water my lawn.
No, you're
Well,
fine. I may
I
do
would
it anyways, Mikey. If I'm over there, I may do it anyways.
Yeah, I'll come over when you're home and do it.
Let me know which looks better, Wani or 15 Beaumont, and don't be afraid to offend me.
Wani.
I haven't seen Beaumont yet recently, so
Wani.
Oh man.
I'll tell you. No.
Well, boys, as always, absolutely love talking to you. Cannot wait for the next time we do this. Tim, you were missed this weekend, and that's okay. But that's all right.
Get you, Timbo. Love you, kid. Let's hop on that Nathan Parker Classic, and Brendan, you cut it earlier.
I didn't cut it yet.
It's still going.
You were about to cut it.
I was. That's okay. All right, everyone, get on out there, dub it up, let it fly. We're good. I got to go to bed.